Hi, how are you?
Good.
We all know Jane Lynch.
Let me get on this side. I hear better.
Please.
Okay. Hi. We're together again, Janie.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need folks that are known. Oh yeah, you bet.
All right, that's
That's a
Bobby.
big bear hug.
Hello. Hey.
How you doing?
Great to see you. Say hi, everybody. So
That's right. That's right.
this is B.D. Freeman, Greg Grunberg, Jane Lynch, of course.
Get back, Bobby.
Their lives are connected to epilepsy for a variety of different reasons, and I think that's what really opens everybody's eyes to how many people are affected by epilepsy. Jane,
Yes.
why are you here?
I'm here. Adam Caller, who you just met, is my lawyer and a very good friend as well. And of course, I love him and his family, including Audrey Caller, Team Audrey Caller, who sang our national anthem as well. Very talented. And this is my third, it might be my fourth year, I'm not sure.
I think it is your fourth year.
It might be, I didn't want to claim more than I actually possess, but maybe it's my fourth year, let's go with that. And I come here every year because the whole event has such a loving, healing vibe, and when we all gather together to walk together and raise awareness and hang out and just be kind of encircled in this loving energy, things happen. Diseases get healed. It's the most powerful energy on earth, and that's why I love to be a part of it. Top that, Greg.
Wow. That's tough. Yeah, I'm not here supporting my attorney who has gotten me out of jail several times.
Thank you, Adam.
I wish that was why I was here. I really thought about this today, and I don't know if you know, our oldest son, Jake, has epilepsy. He's 21. He's living well with epilepsy. He's doing great. And this is, I think, our 14th year. We've been here many more times than Jane. We care a lot more than Jane does. But here's the thing. We have a family member who has epilepsy. This makes sense. We're here. It's easy for us. For Jane to come and support, honestly, I really thought about this today. This is Jake. But honestly, Jane, I can't thank you enough. Like, for you to come out and do this, and thank God no one in your family is directly affected, it means so much to us. Doesn't this mean a lot? I mean, this is what it's all about.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. That's
I
very
really
nice
mean
to
it.
say.
I really mean it. And this guy, Jake Grunberg, this is My Epilepsy Hero. If you haven't done hashtag My Epilepsy Hero on social media, you must do that. $1 goes to the Epilepsy Foundation for every hashtag My Epilepsy Hero. But this is my hero right here. Jake is living well with epilepsy, and we say in our house, F epilepsy. We hate it. We absolutely hate it, but we love all of you, and we're so proud to be here.
That's fantastic. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. B.D. Freeman, great to see you. I know you've had you were so tired this morning, and I mean that with a lot of love.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, I've been out, I think 72 hours now I've been away because I had to promote the film. But the thing is that getting off the plane and coming straight here, which is why I don't have my epilepsy shirt, because I forgot to pack it before I
There are plenty
left.
back there, pal. Just
Yeah, there are a lot of shirts back
You know what
there.
the best thing that happened to me today, though, is I went over to tell Jane the story of
and I
me
said,
being...
get to the point. It does go on.
It goes on, and she goes, you know what, get to the point, we got a march to do here. But I'm here because they figured they needed a black guy. They're like, look, we got everybody else, but we need a black guy, so they grabbed me. Thank you for everybody coming. My brother has epilepsy, my wife has epilepsy, and it's really, really, the reason that I'm here is that, you know, I served in the Marine Corps, and it's like, my first thing is always to protect. It's the hardest thing in the world for me to watch somebody go through something and I can't chase it off or beat it up or scare it away. And I find myself getting angry inside, and I don't want to be angry anymore. I want to be able to help. So I come to these to be with you, to march with you, and to learn from you and with you. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that gives you a sense of the commitment that they have to what we are doing here, to go 72 hours without sleep, to get off a plane, to make sure you are here for this event. Thank you so much. All of you guys, thank you so much. You're going to be hearing a lot more from them coming up throughout the run walk.
And the rain actually is a good thing.
Yeah.
I hope it rains, man. I really, wait, what's that song? Oh, man. I'm just saying. I mean, Prince, if you didn't know, Prince had epilepsy, guys.
Wow.
And he talked about it later to Tavis Smiley. He talked about it. And my foundation got donations at times, and I didn't know where they were coming from. Prince was not the type of guy who, you know, would let people know that he was donating, but he did, and he supported our community in a huge way. And so when you're thinking about him, if it rains, that's because he's here with us.
Oh, I love it.
And we love you guys.
That's fantastic. Greg, BD, Jane, thank you so much. Purple Rain, and it's purple, isn't it? Fantastic. Give them a huge round of applause. And you're going to hear a lot more from them coming out throughout the morning to help encourage you to run, to walk, to raise awareness for this terrible disease. Thank you guys so much.
And what we've got now is some of the interviews which I grabbed along the way with some fantastic famous actors. So let's take a look at those interviews.
Yes.
Tell me who you are and what do you do?
Sure, my name is DJ Hapa and I am a DJ who travels around the world playing music and producing music for people to have a great time to. So I'm also a big advocate of epilepsy awareness. It's a huge part of my world. Having epilepsy is one of the things that I guess will define me forever. And I know that some people don't like that, of saying that, hey, epilepsy defines me. I think it does though, and I'm proud of it.
How long have you had epilepsy for? Tell me more
So
about
yeah, so I was diagnosed with epilepsy in 1998. I was a senior in high school. Now you know how old I am. And I went to sleep one night and I woke up in the middle of my floor and I had no idea what happened. Felt obviously out of it. Felt really sore. Had no idea what went on. And then next night, same thing. And this time I wake up and my mother and my sister are both standing over me crying. So they rushed me to the hospital, to the emergency room, and all of a sudden, instead of worried about, you know, what I'm gonna do after school in my senior year, I mean, I was basically coasting in my senior year of high school. Now I'm faced with this new challenge, and doctor said, you know, you have epilepsy. I'll never forget that. I went away to college. I'll never forget what my first neurologist said. I had been accepted to UCLA on a full scholarship and full academic scholarship, and my neurologist said, somebody with your condition, at this state in your condition, I don't recommend going anywhere. I think you might even want to rethink college altogether. In so many words, I told him to F himself and went away to school, and it was tough. And I know, like, in hindsight, he was trying to look out for me, but you know, I had to do it, and I had to discover and have my own path. So, and I'm so glad that I did, because I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
So what type of medication do you take?
So currently I'm not on any medication, actually. I've been seizure free for 10 years.
Wow.
I've been able to get off of medication. I'm one of those somewhat, I guess, rare cases in which I've been able to sort of overcome this. And to me, you know, people have different beliefs and whatnot. You know, I was able to find what worked for me, and everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different, but I changed my diet. I changed my lifestyle. I really got in tune with my body, and, you know, by the grace of God, I'm here and seizure free and not on any sort of medication. But to me, that's even more of a reason for me to be an advocate for this. I'm one of the lucky few that don't have to take medication on a regular basis, aren't having seizures on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. But at the same time, I'm always at risk. I mean, if you have a brain, you're at risk to have a seizure. So, you know, it's always sort of in the back of my head somewhere. But yeah, I've been very, very, very thankful to be seizure free for this long.
So what were your triggers, do you think?
Stress, you know, lack of sleep, sort of the normal ones. And then, you know, for me, I think when I was able to, you know, I was able to find the line. And I think being a teenager, being a college student at that time, I think really played to my favor. I had a rebellious attitude and was always trying to push the line, push the limit. And in doing that, I think I discovered where the line was. And so I know that there's a lot of people out there that, you know, you have no idea where the line is and you're scared of you have no idea. It's just this unknown. Yeah. And for me, it was really helpful for me to have found the line by, you know, really playing with fire and like here's where that is. But in retrospect, that's what really helped me then figure out I can live with this, and it empowered me to say, hey, as long as I don't get too close to this line, but now I know where the line is, you know.
Yeah. So if you've got any advice for people who are living with epilepsy, what would you say?
Yeah, I think for me, the best advice I could give somebody that's living with epilepsy is I found it very, very powerful to be a part of this community. And for many years, for almost eight or 9 years, I was so nervous and so scared to tell my story. And for fear of what people might say, what people might think. And I know you've probably heard this over and over again, but you know, I debuted my story and sort of broke that on the morning news here in LA when I was DJing every morning on the KTLA morning show. And I'll never forget this. I had a conversation with a publicist of mine, and we were sitting down at lunch, and he's like, you know, you should really tell people about the fact that you have epilepsy. You can help people out there by sharing your story. And I was like, no, nobody wants to hear my story, and I don't even know how much it would help. And I was ignorant to how big this was also, and how much of a cause this was. And he was like, I've never told you this, but you know I'm bipolar. And I was like, what? You're bipolar? And it was literally my knee-jerk reaction, but I was like, you don't look like you're bipolar. And he was like, you don't look like you have epilepsy. And I was like, you got me. You got me. And ever since that moment, I mean, you know, I think I, you know, really opened up this new chapter of my life of being willing to share my story. Once we debuted my story on air, and we cut to commercial, and there were three of the 4 anchors had a story about epilepsy. You know, a classmate of mine had a seizure in front of me. My sister had seizures when we were little. You know, the stories go on, and I know everybody who's out there, you have a story, you know, no matter what your platform is, share your story. Educate those who are around you. Not in a forceful way, but in a way that, like, you know, let people know what it is that you're going through. And I think, you know, people are much more compassionate than I sometimes feel like we give people credit for. And I think that's how we make a difference. That's how we make a change. So that, and then also, like, you know, on the patient side, oh man, don't be afraid to try new things. You know, just because you've been doing the same thing for this many years, and you know, it kind of helps. You know, I had a neurologist who I was taking medication, a certain medication at the time, and it wasn't stopping the seizures. And this neurologist that I went to see, I got a second opinion, and I went to see her, and one of the first things she said was, this isn't working. Clearly this isn't working. Right. We need to try something new. And I think that I run into a lot of people that are out there in our community that, you know, are just like, well, my doctor says this is what I should be taking, so therefore that's what I'm taking. I think challenge that. There's also a lot of amazing other therapies that are out there also that, you know, aren't a drug, you know, and there's a lot of people have been able to, there's been a lot of success stories that are out there with people who are doing changes like the ketogenic diet, or even what's happening with cannabis and CBD oil and stuff like that. So, you know, don't be afraid to try new things if what you're on isn't working. No.
So changing your lifestyle and things like that.
I mean, that's what did it for me, and I can't, you know, say that that's, you know, unfortunately this is one of those things where what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for somebody else, but I haven't eaten beef or pork for 19 years. Okay. I, you know, am very conscious, even though I've got a cookie in my hand, I'm very conscious of like the sugar that I take in and carbs and whatnot, and I focus on a really, you know, high protein, low carb, low sugar diet, and that's been helpful for me. Yeah. But then again, you know, everybody's gonna have a little bit of a different path, so don't be afraid to try new things.
Yeah. Which is a really valuable thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So if people want to find you online and tune into your radio show and also DJing, where can they find you?
Yeah, so all of my social handles are DJ Hapa, Hapa. My website is hapaworld.com. You can listen back to my podcasts that are on there. Some of my radio shows are up on there. I'm on air every morning on Dash Radio. So if you go to dashradio.com, I'm on Dash 1 every single morning. And yeah, I run a DJ school called Scratch DJ Academy, and we're gonna do the first ever DJ class, DJ workshop for the epilepsy community in my space in LA this month. And I'm excited to be able to sort of bring both my worlds together and share this gift of music with the epilepsy community and vice versa.
So DJ Hapa, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Oh, it's happening. It's bigger and better than ever this year. Somebody scream!
Now who like a cow?
Scream emotion. Oh yeah. Sweet emotion. Come on, come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How come when the black guy starts rapping, they stop the music?
They just end it right there.
That was just like...
Exactly. Oh no! Oh no! Let's hear it for David Ono, everybody. Come on. All right, here we go. I'm gonna bring up the rear. I'm walking. I'll catch up to you. Let's hear it for the Holvey family. The Holvey family's in the house. All the way from Arizona.
Team Iris. Way to go, Team Iris.
Clap your hands, everybody. Everybody, clap your hands. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's hear it for TV She's! TV She's! Let's hear it for Jonah!
Go, Jonah!
Team Jonah!
USC!
Let's hear it for USC! Keck Medical Center, USC, thank you so much! Let's hear it for the Epilepsy Heroes! Let's hear it for my team!
Excellent.
Just a smash.